What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Impactful Living Podcast.
Where it's all about impacting the
And
masses.
today we are going to be talking about escaping the social media trap and reclaiming authentic love for your relationship.
Aww.
Right? I
Aww.
just feel like it's just a lot. It's a lot that we got to dive into because we often are allowing social media influencers, gurus to tell us how our relationship should be and we shouldn't. Because you know what? We're not the Carly B's. We're not the Megan Thee Stallions. We're not those people. And our partners should not be expecting that from us just as well.
They could fantasize all they want.
Exactly. But let's really dive into this, guys, because the unrealistic expectations that social media has on us, because you guys have to remember these social media celebrities, whatever you want to call them, professionals, they can maintain these types of lifestyles because they have a team behind them helping them create this perfect image in your eyes.
Yeah. So what y'all seeing is just little clips. 1 minute, 2 minute clips of a day that they probably take what hours to prepare for, hours of makeup, hours of hey, make sure this look perfect. A couple, you know, Photoshop, a couple, you know, editing to make everything look perfect. So now when you go home and you look at certain things or you look at your husband or your wife, you probably be like, yo, man, if they get this much closer to looking like Cardi B, I'll be happy. Or if I get this much closer to whatever man that they fantasize about, they'll be happy. Right?
Well, you got to remember that we got to stop holding these celebrities to this. Like, we got to stop putting that in our relationship because it's unfair, right? It's unfair to us because it's damaging your relationship. It's damaging how you see and perceive your partner because you're constantly looking other places. I always say, water your own grass, right?
Water your own
No,
grass.
seriously, if you don't like, something, talk to your partner because this is where we get into a comparison trap. We're constantly comparing for what we see online. If you say, you know what? I'm changing. I'm starting to work out. Maybe talk to your partner. Tell them, hey, let's do it together. Let's do it. If you want somebody that's fit, then explain that. But don't just sit down and expect them to look like this person for you and they don't and the other person has no clue what's going on.
You ever hear the term pretty dunce?
Yeah, I have heard that term.
Yeah. So growing up, you used to always have these pretty girls in school, but they used to be dumb as rocks.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So it's a sense where yeah, you might see something and might think it's greener on the other side. The grass ain't greener on the other side. You just need to water your own grass, and by you watering your own grass, it become greener. Fertilize it, throw some fertilizer on it if you want to. But what does that look like? If you want your wife to have ass, then go into the gym with her and help her do some gluten exercise, right? If it's something that you want to improve, work on improving it, but at the same time you know who you got with,
Yeah,
right?
you know who you got with.
So the thing is, when you're out there looking and you're looking at these people, how pretty they are, remember that makeup does wonders. If y'all haven't been on Instagram to look at these transformations, sometimes I feel like these people should be in jail.
Catfish.
Sometimes I feel like these people should go to jail to like really like no teeth to becoming all teeth and like dolled up, right? So you might be looking at a dolled up person out there that look like I don't want to say it bad,
Nice.
but you might be looking at a dolled up person on Instagram because they have all the makeup on, all the glam, all the Photoshop, all the filters, but you actually have somebody in your house that has no filters on that you fell in love with, and you're comparing them to somebody that you never met in your life, which you're doing that person a disservice.
Yeah, because you're hurting that person's self-esteem, making them feel inadequate, right? Like for me, I came on bare face, not a makeup on, to let you know I'm comfortable with
Oh
myself.
shit, I didn't even notice that.
See? Like y'all already
See?
know when I put myself
See,
together, I could put myself together and people who follow me know
look
that.
at that. Look at that. I
But
didn't
I
even know.
purposely did that for this video today because I want people to see, like, not all the time that you're gonna hold this standard of a beat face and like perfect body, a perfect, like, we all have imperfections sometimes, and you have to embrace that, with your partner.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I just noticed that you didn't even have the makeup on,
Yes.
which is good, right? Just to show that the person that you with, yeah, I love it when she get herself together and look good together. Of course, you know, we going out, she get dolled up for a man, I get dolled up for my wife, right? So but at the end of the day, it's like you should be comfortable in your skin. And I see people, I've seen, and it's not people, right? But I've seen where on TV and people explaining like, yo, they're the person that they would never saw them without makeup,
That's crazy.
right?
How you in a relationship and that happens?
Because they sleep with the makeup on.
That's just
right?
too much work.
They for you it's like, yo, as soon as certain things happen, you be like, yo, I'm done. I want to get this makeup off.
Damn right.
And for some people, like, how can you do that? Like, I don't get it.
Because they're trying to uphold this image, right? They see, and also it's their partner just as well too. Because if I was if I was a dude, I'd be like, aren't you about to wash your face? Aren't you about to take off those lashes?
Yeah,
aren't you about to take off that wig? Like, come on.
But that man about to run if they actually see
and maybe,
who's
but
under
that's your self-esteem, right? That's having issues with yourself.
It's not having issues with
It
yourself.
is. So you want to tell me you fall
my,
asleep with makeup every single night? This man sees you like
my
this.
thing is the lie that's happening right now in society. It's a lie about people like out there, and that's why we have to be careful when we're judging people. We're judging the actual person that we say we're spending our lives with versus people on social media, because what you're seeing is not real most of the times.
Yeah.
Right? Most of the times you're seeing these people and you see the transformation. If you haven't seen a transformation on social media, yo, y'all go check that out.
You're going TikTok, the before and after makeup
before
videos.
And after, you see these people like, yo, some of them look like they don't have no eye and they pop in the eye, some shit. I just don't know, but I cannot.
They popped in the eye.
Like for real though. But the thing is, it's like you're being fooled thinking that, yo, you can get better outside. And hey, maybe a person out there have a better quality in something that you want your significant person to have, right? But that's just one quality that they might have, and that might be looks, right? It might be ass, it might be titties, it might be their personality, who knows? But it's just one thing that you're looking at and judging that person, saying, man, I want my wife to have this. Well, what about the other qualities that you made her your wife for?
Correct. You know, you have to remember, we have to stop losing sight of why we fell in love with this person to begin with, right? And stop trying to mold them into something that they're not. Like he said, you met the person like this. Why all of a sudden you just want to just change them, right? Now, don't get me wrong. There are times in relationship where people do lack, right? They do fall off. That's not how I met you, right? And I do believe in that you have to maintain a certain standard, but at the same time, don't try to mold me to be a Cardi B or a Megan Thee Stallion or whatever the new girl is of the week, the new flavor of the week. Don't try to mold that person into that. But I just think you got to kind of appreciate what you have and don't get distracted, because there's a lot of distractions in this world, okay? There's men that look like females and this one that look like that. And I mean, welcome to Atlanta, like it's just a lot. And you're always looking for the next best thing that's out there. And we have to change that.
Matt, can you check? You can't even check driver's license nowadays because they change the driver's license to what they are, right?
At the end of the day, do you, right? But don't be out here fooling. But we're talking about marriage. We're going off of that. We're getting off topic here, okay? We're talking about marriage, and stop trying to mold people.
Yeah, but
into who they are.
It's the distraction. It's not only distraction. It's what social media is showing people though.
Correct. These little 15-second clips. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, 15-second clips that took probably 10 trials to get it perfect,
right.
Right? Or 100 trials to get 15 seconds perfect. But hey, listen. This ain't edited. It's live. So we ain't coming to you with no edited version. This
Take
is
us
real
as we are.
Okay.
But I feel like you have to have communication in your relationship about that, because these unexpected expectations, it can build up a lot of resentment in your relationship. Because if he's constantly comparing me, how am I going to feel? right? I'm gonna start getting frustrated. I'm gonna start feeling some type of way every time I look at you. And I'm grateful that you don't compare me to anyone. At least you ain't never tell me you compare me to nobody. But I'm just saying, like, it's gonna give you disappointment. It's gonna give you resentment. So we gotta focus on that communication. If there's something that's missing from your relationship and you want, talk about it. Right? Don't expect this person to be like a genie in a bottle and expect, like, no, we have to talk about it. We have to express what we want in our relationship. And don't get me wrong, in a relationship, especially we've been together 16 years, you're going to change and evolve. We're not kids anymore, right? We're not kids. We're changing, and things, when you start educating yourself, you want better, you want to do better, you want that person to come along on that journey with you. But comparing them for looks and superficial things, no, you know what I mean? Like, I want you to level up with me. If I'm reading, I want to see you reading too, just as well. But I'm going to encourage you. I can't mold you to be this person, but I'm just going to encourage.
Yeah.
But that's where the communication comes in.
Well, we always talk about communication. I feel like
that's the importance of the relationship.
Communication every time we come on, because it's one of the most important things when it comes to anything. When it comes to marriage, when it comes to building a relationship, when it comes to anything, you have to have good communication.
Exactly.
You have to let that person know how you feel. If there's a problem, you let them know there's a problem, not building resentment or, oh, that problem is going to go away. And then that problem occur over and over again until you start building up resentment. No, say how you feel and express how you feel. I don't care how they talk about you're a man and you're not. Forget that. I'm going to tell how I feel.
Yes, your feelings
because
matter.
At the end of the day, if you can't express how you feel, then I feel like there's no growth. How are you going to be able to grow?
Yeah.
So
we got to talk about this.
In the relationship, it's like, yo, if I feel a certain way, because I tell my wife this. I said, the day that I'm not happy is the day I'm going to let you know I'm not happy.
Yeah.
And if you don't try to fix it, then I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Right?
But we're here for better and for worse. All right, guys? We just saying this.
I can say that openly because we always communicate. So when there's something wrong, we let each other know there's something wrong and how we can fix it. Versus, yo, we're like you hitting somebody from out feel like a surprise, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't do that. We talk, we openly communicate, and if there's a problem, we let each other know there's a problem.
Most definitely. I don't want to ever feel like I can't live up to your expectations. I don't want to feel unsatisfied in my relationship or any of that. So I'm going to tell you how I feel. But like I said, you don't compare me to nobody. So I'm grateful for that.
Go cheat.
No, but I really sometimes, just like what we talked about before about having a mission statement in your relationship, right? But you also need to, when things get tough or you get frustrated or whatever it may be, you need to go back and you need to read that mission statement. And it also is going to remind you why you fell in love with that person to begin with. What are their unique, qualities? Why are you, and figure out like, why are you trying to change them? Like, I fell in love with this person because he was kind and he was nice and he had goals and ambition and we had pillow talks and you have to remember.
But what happens when those goals and ambition go away? What happens when the person you fell in love with is no longer that person? Like instead of
something went wrong for you not to be that person, for you to stop having goals and ambition, something went wrong. And maybe that person wasn't there to push you and motivate you. And then that's a different topic for a different day. But I just feel like you're not going to go from being this motivated person, this entrepreneur, to just having no goals, nothing, a couch potato. Something clicked, something went wrong. You need to get some help. You need mental help. Something is wrong.
I'll say something.
And we need to recognize that.
I'll say something have to trigger or go wrong for a person that is ambitious to just go from being ambitious to nothing. Whether it's could be a loss, it could be something, but at that point the person that's with them have to realize and help them push through it, instead of just being a nagging husband or a nagging wife and be like, yo, you ain't doing nothing, you ain't this, you ain't that. Be like, yo, all right, babe.
That's tearing each other down.
It's like,
and that's
all
not
right.
what a marriage is about.
No, it's not. It's not. It should be always about building people up. It should be
Correct.
building your person up. Let them feel like, yo, they're the shit. You know.
Damn right. Ain't
Let
nobody
'em-
come in here and tell my man he the ish. I tell y'all that because I tell him that every single day. And I'm not even exaggerating, guys. I legitly look at my man every day and let him know how proud I am of him and how good he look, right? Because the worst thing to do is not have confidence in your relationship and to know like your partner is looking at everyone else but you. That gotta hurt. I don't know, but that's gotta hurt. And I don't want that. You know what I mean? So for me, like we set healthy boundaries when it comes to social media. You gotta, first of all, the more you sit on social media, the more it's gonna damage you. Like we use social media, yes, for business and post your kids and your little things like that. But you can't sit on and don't get me wrong, there are gonna be times where you go on TikTok and you be there for like just scrolling,
It's a
scrolling.
trap.
It's a trap. It gets you.
It's a trap.
But you have to have healthy boundaries for that because the more you scroll, the more comparison that you are, not only with your spouse, but you as an individual just as well.
Know what you're going on social media for. You know, sometimes we go with the intention of doing something, and then we find this video and it's funny, or look at these cute babies, and then you get completely distracted. And then you forgot after 10 minutes or 30 minutes of scrolling hold on, what was I on Facebook for? Or what?
Y'all know, if y'all agree, if y'all know that, let us know because that's real talk though.
You get what I'm saying? So it have to be where you are really good with your time. When you're going on social media, it's like, all right, hey, I want to watch Impactful Living podcast. Once Impactful Living podcast is done, I'm out. I'm going to do something in the house. I'm going to do this, or while it's going on, I'm doing something else,
Yeah.
but you have to be strategic in what you're doing with social media because social media is stealing time, the time that you could take to be with your loved one, to express how they feel, whether it's to have a drink, sit down and talk. You always say, well, if somebody's saying you never have time for me, then you have to check your time as far as what are you doing when you're home? Are you on social media, giving social media or Facebook time, and they're stealing away from you and your family, away from your kids, away from your wife, versus, yo, you know what? Let me close this phone down.
Yeah, make time to go on dates. Maybe instead of sitting here planning on, if you are going on social media, maybe you have like you said, have a purpose. Like we love to go on TikTok and find new restaurants in Atlanta to try, right? And what we do, we share it with each other. We put it in a save so we can go out on a date and we can do stuff. Like you have to have intention when you go on social media, not to just sit down and watch everybody's life. Because at the end of the day, that little 5-minute YouTube video, that 15-second reel, it's not real. Get it through your head. It is not real. And a lot of people are sitting there like, oh, I wish I had a marriage like that. Or I wish I had a marriage like theirs. I get people all the time that tell us like, oh my gosh, you have such a beautiful marriage. I wish, my husband, go water your grass. Like, and that's what for real, go water your grass.
I'll say don't
compare.
Because our marriage is not perfect, but my marriage is great.
Damn
I'll
right.
say that. Right? I'm not gonna.
It's great for us.
I'm not gonna. No, my marriage is great. Listen,
I love it, y'all.
I am not gonna compare myself with other people out there because I ain't married to them. I'm married to you.
You right about
so
that.
at the end of the day, my words are powerful, and what I say is what become out of my mouth. So if I'm here complaining about my marriage and complaining about you and complaining about that, all that is gonna happen. I'm only gonna see the negative, and the negative is going to keep on happening. But if I say my marriage is great, guess what?
My marriage is great.
My marriage is great.
Okay. And it's on our vision board. This is what I'm trying to say. These little things are so important. On our vision board is a happy, healthy marriage. Like after God is that. And then comes our kids and everything after that. But that is right after God is a happy, healthy marriage. So if you see that and you visualize that, and this is on both vision boards that we have upstairs and downstairs, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to have that because you're constantly putting that to the forefront. You're constantly looking at that. You're constantly saying that. But
there's no, like, you will always hear me say, there's no trick to it, right?
No.
If you really want to have a happy marriage, or if you want to have a good marriage, in a sense, just write it down. Do the things that you want in a marriage.
Yeah,
do it.
Do your part.
And the thing is this, by you doing your part, by you making that person feel special, by you doing the things that they want, right? Communicate with them what you're looking for as well in a marriage. That's why we always talk about, when before people get married or anything like that, you want to sit down and create a plan or know what you guys are looking for in a marriage.
Yep.
Right? So when you go in that marriage, hey, you know what? I know what I got. I'm not comparing it to what's out there, because hey, my marriage is not going to be built on one day. It's not going to be built on 1 year. My marriage is built over a lifetime. And that is me creating memories, working on my marriage to become better every single day, working on myself to become better every single day, and keep us as a unit. So when it comes down to it, it's like, for me to be out here comparing somebody that I never met before because they look pretty, they might look pretty on social media, right? But when they get in front of you, you have to remember makeup and all, right? That doesn't mean nothing. That person could be one selfish
person. No, think about it. Halle Berry, beautiful, right? They would say, oh, she's banging all the guys, everybody. But how many times have she been in a relationship, in and out? You have to question those things. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not all about the looks. It's about the quality of person. That's why I said you could come on like me, coming on bare face. I could come on all dolled up, but it's the quality that's inside of me that made him fall in love with me. It's not the makeup. Matt could go somewhere. It's not that. It's not fancy. It's not none of that. You know what I mean? It's about who I am as an individual. I feel like in a marriage, yes, we're together, we're considered one, right? But you have to work on yourself. You have to work on you and becoming the best version of yourself inside and out. Work on your healing, work on bettering you, because when you become better, your marriage becomes better. Because at that time, you're focusing on, okay, these are qualities that I recognize that, I struggle with. The person's going to notice those differences, and if you need help with that, make sure y'all check out Renew and Restore 90-Day Devotional of Hope and Healing. We talk about 90 different topics for you to just focus on bettering yourself in this new season of your life. So if you need help, go to my Amazon storefront, get that devotional, work on yourself every day at a time. It's just one day at a time.
One day at a time.
Exactly. But we have to also just embrace the imperfections of the other person. You get what I'm saying? I know you're not perfect.
Who, me?
Of course you ain't perfect. I'm not perfect. But what we are doing is that we're building a foundation together, a foundation that is respect, mutual understanding, love. And I think that will carry you so much further. So I just truly believe that we need to stop comparing our relationships to what we see online, relationship wise. We need to start comparing our partner. They're not, I would say in my era, the Morris Chestnuts and the Holly Berries and the Megan Thee Stallions for them young girls right now. We have to stop. Like, it's not being realistic. People are just doing too much. People just doing too much. I'm sorry. I be getting so passionate about this because I just truly feel like it's damaging relationships. And this is why relationships are not lasting 20, 30, 40, 50 years, because your grandpa and grandma didn't have time to sit down and scroll all day. They actually went out there and made it work.
Facts on that. And it's like, yo,
how did they make it work all those years? Ask that. And then maybe you should do that. Maybe you should go ask your grandparents, if they're still alive today, how did y'all make it work? Or older people.
Yeah.
That's what I love to do. I love to
ever
take
advice from people that are not in relationships
or not happy in a relationship, or been divorced multiple times. Something ain't right. Something not right. Like so they say.
They said, don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. Right? But figure out, like, if you want something that's special in your marriage, find people that have something special that you want, and then, mimic that, or, ask a couple questions. I always say, listen, if you could get mentorship in any aspect of your life, right? If you could go get mentorship pay people to advance your business, why not pay people to advance your marriage as well, right? Because if your marriage becomes better, then you can operate on a way higher level as well. So with that, people is going to prioritize certain things in life. If you prioritize your business over your marriage, then eventually what's going to happen, right? So you have to make everything become a balance, not compare, but more of, hey, make things a priority in your life instead of comparing other people's marriage. Find what you want in your marriage, or identify what you want in your marriage and work on that. Both people come together and say, listen, this is what I want in a marriage. This is what I'm not feeling comfortable with. I don't like when you say certain things. I don't like when you compare me to this. I'm not this person. I am not going to be this. Be the voice that you should be, instead of trying to, keep in a shell and not say nothing, because at that point you're just creating resentment.
Correct. I always tell people, be an advocate for your own health. Be an advocate for yourself in your marriage. Speak up and talk and let people, I want to challenge you guys. If you were doing this and you were in the trap of social media comparing, go apologize to your spouse. Go apologize to them and try to do a restart. It's never too late in my eyes to start over. If you know you're doing wrong, right? It's never too late. When you know better, you do better. And sometimes watching these podcasts and coming on here is going to help educate you and bring things to light that maybe you did not notice or you did not see previously. But I want you guys to go plan a date this weekend, right? Go plan a date, go get all dolled up and go talk about life. Reconnect offline, right? Reconnect with your spouse and figure out, okay, where are we going from here? What are we about to do? Let's take this to the next level and start to love each other authentically. That authentic, ain't nothing better than authentic love
in a relationship. Authentic relationship that you see on social media instead of the fake ones.
Correct. All right, guys. That was the Impactful Living Podcast,
where today. It's all about impacting the masses.
All right, guys. And don't forget, like I said, go out and check out Renew and Restore. It's on Amazon. It's a 90-day devotional of hope and healing. Share with a friend. Share with your family. The holidays might be coming around. Give it to someone who you think might need it. All right, guys. Otherwise, we will see you guys on the next episode of Impactful Living Podcast.
All right, guys.
See ya.